You may not tell nobody.
Come on.
You may not act like it. You may swear now you're right.
Come on.
But when you're wrong, you know you're wrong. Don't nobody have to tell you. Don't nobody have to show you.
Yeah.
You already know it.
Yeah.
Because if you were born again, if you are saved and baptized in the Spirit, if you know God for yourself, something on the inside of you will begin to stir up when you know you're wrong. Something will begin to humble you when you know you're wrong. Alarm bells will begin to ring all in your spirit when you know you're wrong. But the problem is, y'all sit down with this teacher.
Come on.
But the problem is, most of us are stronger in our flesh than we are in our spirit.
Yeah. Come on.
And the reason why is because you have fed your flesh more than you have fed your spirit.
Yeah.
So now your flesh is strong and your spirit is weak. Come on in here. It's so weak that your flesh will suppress the pull of your spirit. So when your spirit says no, your flesh will say yes. Your spirit will tell you it's wrong to smoke dope, but your flesh will override your spirit and tell you you just having a little fun. Your spirit will tell you it's wrong to gossip like that, but your flesh will overrule your spirit and say, I'm not gossiping, I'm just passing on information. Your spirit will tell you it's wrong to lay, your spirit will tell you it's wrong to lay down with that man or that woman, but your flesh will overrule your spirit and say it's loving you is wrong, then I don't want to be right. Somebody say you need to take a look at yourself. We need to listen to our conscience. If we would listen to our conscience, we would stay out of some mess. If we would listen to our conscience, we would stop making the same mistake over and over. If we would only listen to our conscience, we would be able to come in God's house and be free to worship, free to praise, free from the chains of sin, free from the bondage of indecision, free from the guilt, free from the weight of what God has said. Don't do. Let a man examine himself. Take a look in the mirror. I'm almost done. I'm already down. Take a look in the mirror. Take a look. When we look in the mirror, we ought to see a person of character. When we look in the mirror, we ought to see a person of conscience. But finally, when we look in the mirror, we should see somebody that looks just like Christ. Y'all don't hear me. What are you? Who are you? What do you claim to be? If you are claiming to be a Christian, if you are claiming to be a Christian, if you are claiming to be a Christian, then Christ ought to be in you. If you're claiming to be a Christian, you ought to know what the word means. Oh God, Christian means to be Christ-like, or to be just like Christ. When you look in the mirror, you ought to see somebody that looks just like Christ. And if you want to see somebody that looks just like Christ, then you have to find somebody in that mirror that acts just like Christ. Come on in here, somebody. Jesus said they will know that you are my disciples by how ye love one another. Jesus said if you love me, you will follow my commandments. Jesus said blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of God. Jesus said blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are the poor in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are they that hunger change.